The building poses a threat to public health and safety, and bringing it down as quickly as possible is critical to protect our community. So we will continue to host the twice daily briefings with the families, moving today and tomorrow's afternoon briefing a little earlier in the day in observance of the Sabbath. And as the Sabbath or Shabbat begins, we join the families who are grieving and waiting in prayer and reflection. And we know that your prayers and wishes and hopes are with us from all around the world in this hour of tragedy. And we thank you. We thank everyone who is with us in spirit. We're also continuing to monitor what is now Hurricane Elsa, and we are urging our community to take action to prepare now. Please don't delay. Head to our website, miamidade.gov/hurricane, to learn more what you can do before, during, and after a storm, and sign up for our emergency alerts and download our Ready MDC app. I'm incredibly proud of the work that our team has done here on the ground. So many of our county departments are at the forefront contributing. Of course, our Miami-Dade Fire, the heroes and sheroes on the mound, our Miami-Dade Police Department, keeping us safe and keeping everything moving, our Office of Emergency Management, monitoring all of these operations, our Department of Transportation and Public Works, our Department of Water and Sewer, and many others. They're all here on site working together, Miami-Dade County, to get this job done. We're not just running an emergency response, as you can see, but we're also preparing our whole community for a possible storm at the same time. I also want to thank our chairman of the commission, Pepe Diaz, for his ongoing collaboration on storm preparation, and particularly his work with the South Florida Water Management District to prepare. We are truly experiencing an unprecedented disaster, and the extraordinary men and women of Miami-Dade and our federal and state partners continue their mission and the search and rescue no matter what is thrown our way. Buenas tardes a todos. Hemos tenido la suerte de tener buen tiempo hoy y la operación de búsqueda y rescate ha continuado en las partes del colapso a las que podemos acceder, ya que seguimos utilizando toda la tecnología disponible para buscar en el área de preocupación. En el transcurso de la búsqueda de hoy, recuperamos a 2 víctimas más. Ahora tenemos 22 muertes confirmados, 188 personas contabilizadas y 126 desaparecidos. Nuestros detectives están auditando continuamente la lista a medida que verificamos cada informe que hemos recibido sobre una persona potencialmente desaparecida, y como resultado las cifras seguirán cambiando, como he dicho. Esta tarde yo firmé una orden de emergencia que autoriza la demolición del edificio en interés de la salud y la seguridad pública, tan pronto como los ingenieros firmen los siguientes pasos para comenzar el proceso de demolición. Es importante tener en cuenta que todavía estamos evaluando todos los impactos posibles y determinando el mejor cronograma para comenzar la demolición. Firmar la orden ahora es un paso importante que nos ayudará a avanzar lo más rápido posible para comenzar una vez que hayamos decidido la mejor metodología para demoler y en una fecha de inicio específica. También continuamos monitoreando lo que ahora es el huracán Elsa, y le pido a nuestra comunidad que comience a tomar medidas para prepararse ahora. Por favor, no se demore. Realmente estamos experimentando un desastre sin precedentes, y los extraordinarios hombres y mujeres de Miami-Dade y nuestros socios federales y estatales continúan su misión y la búsqueda y rescate sin importar lo que se les presente. Gracias, y continuamos orando Gracias.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And now Division Director of Emergency Management, Deputy Incident Commander, Charles Surrell.
Good afternoon, everyone. Based on the latest advisory, Hurricane Elsa continues to strengthen. The Miami-Dade County Office of Emergency Management will monitor the storm as it quickly moves towards South Florida and provide updates on any protective actions as conditions warrant. The latest advisory, although favorable, informs us that the storm is picking up speed through the Caribbean Sea and heading west-northwest. There remains uncertainty in the future forecast intensity and track. This situation continues to demand our close attention as we enter this holiday weekend, and we are continuing to work with our partners, the Florida Division of Emergency Management, to assure that all proper contingencies are implemented. Please continue to monitor the progress of this storm and complete your preparedness plans by Sunday evening. If you'd like more information on hurricane preparedness, please visit miamidade.gov/hurricane or download the Ready MDC app. The ongoing search and rescue mission, as well as providing assistance for the survivors and their families, remains our highest priority. Our Family Assistance Center service hours are from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m., 7 days a week. The 26 organizations on site continue to provide mental health, grief counseling, financial assistance, lodging, travel, and many other services to those in need. Since this morning's briefing, an additional 17 families were able to receive services. That brings our total number of 80 families who have been assisted at the Family Assistance Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Surrell. And now in Spanish, on behalf of the Deputy Incident Commander, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, Director, and Media Public Relations, Erica Benitez.
Muy buenas tardes. Una vez basado en el último aviso de huracán Elsa, continúa fortaleciéndose la Oficina de Manejo de Emergencia de Miami-Dade, continúa monitoreando la tormenta a medida que avanza rápidamente hacia el sur de la Florida. El último aviso nos informa que la tormenta está ganando velocidad a través del Mar Caribe y se dirige hacia el oeste-noroeste. Urgimos a todos que continúen haciendo sus preparaciones y estén listos para la llegada de esta tormenta. Si desea obtener más información de cómo prepararse, visite miamidade.gov/hurricane y también descargue la aplicación Ready MDC. Por supuesto, la misión de nosotros continúa siendo esa misión de búsqueda y rescate, así como brindar apoyo a los sobrevivientes de esta tragedia y a sus familias. El horario de servicio de nuestro centro de asistencia familiar es de 12 de la tarde a 5 de la tarde los 7 días de la semana. Las 26 organizaciones en el lugar continúan brindando servicios de salud mental, consejería de duelo, ayuda financiera, de alojamiento, viajes y muchos otros servicios. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Erica. From the Florida Division of Emergency Management, Director, Kevin Guthrie.
Good evening. As Charles has already mentioned, the division is continuing to monitor Hurricane Elsa in conjunction with Miami-Dade Emergency Management. Our state meteorologists reported that the impacts to South Florida from Elsa remain possible and could occur as early as overnight Sunday through Monday. At the 5:15 or the 5 o'clock positioning, it was a slight improvement for the area of Miami. Floridians in the area should be on alert for tropical storm or hurricane watches that may be issued by the National Hurricane Center this weekend. While there remains some uncertainty in the track and intensity forecast, Floridians are encouraged to check and restock their emergency kits, review their hurricane plans heading into this holiday weekend, and prepare for the possibility of heavy rain, strong winds, tornadoes, and storm surge impacts. Also, as of today, all 5 Type 1 USAR task forces from Virginia, Ohio, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Indiana are on the ground. I'm thankful for our federal partners who are assisting with the relief of some of our Florida USAR teams who can turn their focus now to assisting with potential hurricane response. I also want to provide a brief update on recent state response efforts. First, the division continues to provide PPE, spare boots, and other clothing items to USAR responders to ensure that added protection and safety while working on site. The division has purchased and distributed nearly 450 pairs of boots to USAR responders, 27,000 pairs of socks, 360 pairs of heavy-duty demolition gloves, and 400 half-face respirators. Now please, do not donate those items. I'm asking the public, do not donate socks and underwear and boots. These are specialized pieces of equipment that our first responders need. So please do not come to the site and donate those items. We have plenty. The division has also coordinated with Royal Caribbean Group to dock the Royal Caribbean International's Explorer of the Seas at the Port of Miami to provide free housing to support the tireless efforts of our search and rescue teams. I want to thank Royal Caribbean for prioritizing the safety and well-being of our first responders. This resource will ensure our search and rescue teams have a quiet place to rest and recover from their mental and physical well-being, and as they work very long hours in the heat. I'm also pleased to announce that in coordination with Volunteer Florida, Amazon has donated 500 laundry bags, 2,000 laundry pods, and 2,000 dryer sheets specifically for USAR responders. The support we have seen from our the support that we have seen for our first responders has been absolutely incredible. And I want to thank all the private sector vendors and partners that are stepping up to support our response efforts. Last, I will mention that we received official notification in writing from the White House today via FEMA that the President did approve for 30 days, June 24th to July 24th, 100% reimbursement for this event. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. And now Surfside Mayor Charles Burkett.
That last news we heard is pretty amazing, spectacular. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for funding this disaster and taking it off the shoulders of residents here and the state of Florida. We very much appreciate that. A couple things I'd like to point out. I had a more comprehensive talk this morning, but I've spent some time over at the site, and I just want to let everybody know that the accumulated debris from all the operations over the last 8 or 9 days is almost completely gone. And that is another testament to the organizational skills of the county, the mayor's leadership. The work site is clean, it's organized, and it's running very smoothly. Let's hope we don't get that hurricane and that we can keep moving forward 24 hours a day. I also want to note that I met with the families of the building that collapsed today with Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and we went through the issues that they were experiencing, which are notably different than the families who are searching for their loved ones. I will say that there were questions about insurance, there were questions about logistics, there were questions about alternative housing, and there were questions about transportation. I think it's important to repeat, I think I said it this morning, but Chief Brian Rafke has instituted a shuttle, a tram that's going to go around the whole area. It's going to go from the Seaview all the way down south to the community center and back, and it's going to operate every 20 minutes for families that need to hop on and get to different meetings or briefings. In my time over at the Family Center briefing, I was able to sit down with the Support Surfside folks, and I was happy to hear that the accumulated donations have gone from $2 million to about $3 million. We remain focused on pulling everybody out of the rubble. It's our only objective, and we will stay focused on that while we support the families. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Chief Alan Comiskey.
Good evening. Our search operations are still ongoing. We're still primarily focusing on the grids D3 and part of grid D2, as well as grid D3 and part of grid D2. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to expand our search zones due to the high concerns with the building structure. As mentioned earlier, federal task force are on site. Currently, Virginia task force in Ohio will be rotated through today, and the remaining 3, Pennsylvania, Indiana, and New Jersey, will be rotated through tomorrow, as we rotate the Florida task force teams out. There was an engineering task group meeting today, again focusing on the building itself and giving us any guidance in regards with the storm coming in the near future. Thank you.
And thank you, Chief. In Spanish, Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Director of Media and Public Relations, Erica Benitez.
En este momento continuamos nuestras labores de búsqueda y rescate. Actualmente estamos trabajando sobre varios cuadrantes, el cuadrante B3, parte de B2, D3 y parte de D2. Debido a la llegada del huracán Elsa, continuamos trabajando sobre el desarrollo de un plan de contingencia, al cual incluye la relocalización de varios recursos, al igual que los equipos encargados de la logística de esta gran operación. Varios equipos federales o cuadrillas de búsqueda y rescate urbano ya han llegado para brindar asistencia en cuanto a la llegada del huracán y brindar el relevo necesario para los equipos de la Florida, los cuales necesitan regresar a sus labores también. Estos equipos han llegado desde Virginia, Ohio, Pensilvania, Indiana y Nueva Jersey, y estamos agradecidos por la llegada de estos recursos adicionales. Frente a la llegada de esta tormenta, nuestra prioridad continúa siendo la estabilidad de los recursos que tenemos aquí en este momento, al igual que la edificación que queda de pie. Gracias.
Thank you, Erica. From the U.S. Small Business Administration Public Affairs Specialist, Roberto Baldonado.
Before anything else, Charles spoke about how there are 26 agencies assisting individuals at the Family Assistance Center. This is a whole community approach, a whole of government approach. What you see behind us is a prime example of that. The SBA is there to provide assistance. However, we encourage people to visit sba.gov/disaster. Businesses can actually find information, valuable information on how to prepare, on how to apply, on how to submit that application, the documentation that is required for you to be able to prepare and submit that application, whether you do it online, and again at sba.gov/disaster, or whether you visit us at the Family Assistance Center. By the same token, our teams are providing assistance to the families and friends and individuals who are in need. Our neighbors, our homeowners and renters are encouraged to come over to the Family Assistance Center and speak to one of our agents one-on-one for support. Once again, I encourage our business community to please prepare by visiting sba.gov/prepare and be ready. Creo que Charles mencionó del Departamento de Emergencia del Condado que en el Centro de Asistencia de Familias hay 26 organizaciones asistiendo a todas las personas que necesitan esto, asistencia en torno a esto. Eso demuestra que esto es un esfuerzo completo, es una unidad de gobierno y de comunidad que está ayudando a recuperarnos de esta tragedia. Por la misma razón, incitamos a toda la comunidad de negocios a que visite sba.gov/desastre y se informe de cuáles son los documentos que necesita para formular su aplicación y enviar esa aplicación, la cual también la puede presentar a través de sba.gov/desastre. De la igual forma, queremos invitar a nuestra comunidad, a los dueños de casa e inquilinos que han sido afectados por esta tragedia, a que nos visiten en persona en el Centro de Asistencia Familiar, donde un agente especializado de la SBA les va a dar información y, más importante, a caminar de la mano a través del proceso de aplicación. Por último, quiero invitar a nuestra comunidad de negocios a que visite sba.gov/prepare y considere estar preparado para esta tormenta que se nos acerca. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Baldonado. And now our Creole translator, Lionel Larrable.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Nous sommes très contents que temps que nous gagnons après-midi à permettre que le travail nous continue fait et recherche à continuer gens qui ont commencé avant. Kounia nous capable de dire pendant la journée aujourd'hui nous gagnons 2 morts additionnels et ça qui porte quantité de morts à 22. Il y a 188 personnes qui ont trouvé et les gens qui ont pas joindre monté à 126. Ingénieurs avec l'équipe pompiers ont continué à faire test pour être capable d'élargir la zone, côté capable de continuer à faire recherche. Et le magistrat Daniela Levin-Cava a signé un décret exécutif qui permet que soient capable de passer à la démolition. Mais étant donné que l'il y a un intérêt, tout le monde est dans l'intérêt public, là, le travail sur ça qui a un rapport avec ça que la démolition a représenté et reste bâtiment pour santé publique. Donc, il va considérer toute étude avec toute approche qui est nécessaire pour faire ça sans que ne pas représenter de danger pour personne. Priorité, nous, était recherche avec récupération, tout ça que nous sommes capables de joindre en tant que monde ou en tant que corps qui était. Elsa était sur route nous jusqu'à Nia. Elsa, nous toujours préparé pour lui et ça qui arrive pour Nia, monde qui besoin d'informations sur Elsa. Vous pouvez aller dans miamidade.gov/hurricane. Nous sommes fiers en pile de travail que l'équipe nous a accompli sur place et l'équipe dans tout département nous. Nous continuons à faire recherche avec travail et récupération. Nous espérons très bientôt nous capables d'avancer et nous capables de finir avec le travail. Merci en pile.
Thank you, Mr. Larabo. And now we're going to open up for questions. Please raise your hand and wait to be selected and addressed to who the question is going to be for. Go ahead, ma'am.
The demolition of the building is going to proceed based on the recommendations of the engineers. As we stated yesterday and as I stated today, that is going to take time. It's going to take most likely weeks. It is not possible, either from an engineering or any other perspective, to move more rapidly than that.
Madam Mayor.
Mayor, address a little bit. We're hearing about another condominium building in Crestview Towers now being evacuated. Is that part of the audit that you had ordered?
The city of North Miami Beach has taken the steps that we recommended to review to make sure that the recertification process was being done on a timely basis. And as I understand it, as a result of that audit, they found a building that had not been recertified, and when the information came in, they took some steps.
For Deputy Incident Commander Sorrell, so can you kind of walk us through what the plans are as you try to secure the area as it is? It looks to us that there's still items on the terraces and things like that, which can be considered flying objects and missiles during the storm. What are you guys doing in detail?
First and foremost, I want to stress that our objectives remain the same: search, rescue, and assistance of the survivors, and looking for survivors, as I should say. We have formed a comprehensive plan with the division, with FEMA, our local partners, to discuss safety. We've identified a safety zone, and we are going to evacuate as necessary certain aspects of our materials and resources that we provide here, and we'll provide a safety zone with respect to flying debris and other items. So we continue to look at and assess. We've also embedded, as you saw this morning if you were here, the National Weather Service to provide up-to-the-minute forecast at this location. So we'll continue to monitor that, and we will adjust as necessary that safety zone with respect to the building. You're welcome.
Question here from Madam Mayor.
Hi there. I'm actually not sure if it's better for you or for fire. I can answer in English and Spanish. How soon could we see possibly efforts stop because of Elsa, because of the potential effects?
We're monitoring this storm very closely. Depending on the strength of the wind and the path, we'll make that determination. And I don't know if Charles wants anything more about that. That's the answer.
Question right here.
Will you wait to rescue or recover every individual before you demolish that building?
We're very concerned to not compromise our search, but we also know that the building itself poses certain risks. So we have to balance those things. And of course, we want to continue our search and rescue efforts now in the areas where it's safe to do so.
And is there a weather metric that you guys are using to determine to pull those rescue crews ultimately? And is that decision to pull those crews, is that your decision ultimately?
Yes, ultimately, these are my decisions, but I do it in conjunction with the experts in my Department of Fire Rescue, and they are in constant communication with their engineers as well as engineers from the federal and state government. So I think that our Chief Kaminsky should answer the question.
Yeah, so it'll be a collaborative decision. You know, obviously the safety of our personnel is paramount. So we want to be working out there as long as we can. If winds increase, depending on the calculations and what the engineers advise us, we'll make that decision. We do have several safety officers that are out there monitoring the work site constantly. And, you know, we try to go as long as we can, but you've seen, unfortunately, with different other inclement weather and lightning that comes through, we've had periods that we've had to stop.
But there's not like a miles per hour of wind gusts that you guys are using as a benchmark, right?
Nothing's been specific yet. The engineers are definitely doing calculations, and then, you know, they'll go into details, and then they'll make a decision on what direction we should go with that.
Wondering about the process of demoing the building and whether you think that it's going to be fine to push off until after the hurricane, and also whether the search and rescue effort completely halts while the building is being demoed.
So again, we cannot move swiftly to demolish this building. The building needs to be carefully evaluated. We have many engineers working together to look at all of the circumstances, make the determination on the timeline. It cannot be before the storm. However, it is storm season. We know the building is unstable. We are going to move forward with demolition. We just have to do it in the safest possible fashion. As to where the demolition would fall, that is part of the calculus. There are many, many factors. There are many choices to be made, and all of that is being reviewed by the engineers.
And final question.
Obviously, you're fire chief. We're getting some reports that some firefighters out of state who are not vaccinated came down with COVID. There's some testing going on now.
Yes, one of the teams that in Florida but came outside of Miami-Dade, they did have a few COVID individuals. So we do have our medical procedures in place. You know, unfortunately, this is another challenge, but something that we've been dealing with for over the past year in regards to the medical field and our first responders. Responding and managing throughout COVID. So we remain within our protocols in that circumstance where we isolate. We go through a process, and that task force also has now been demobilized.
Is there a number of cases you know of?
6.
6.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. How long will it take for the building to come down? Give an idea of why you get ready down.
You guys are awesome.